Thank you very much, Frederick, and the team of Trade Fair. Good morning to you, laser and textile development family from Africa and from the globe. My name is Birkanesh, and I am working for Africa Laser and Laser Product Institute as investment, trade, and marketing. Very good morning to you again. My presentation will be, I wanted to introduce my institution, ALPI, and the main activities we are undertaking at this particular time. And we will going to see together the laser development dynamics and why we are focusing on laser development and opportunities for Africa development in general. Okay. So as per my presentation, let me talk about ALPI, Africa Laser and Laser Product Institute is an intergovernmental chartered organization. It's headquartered in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Our main office is in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. For this time, ALPI's membership encompasses 10 countries, namely Burundi, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Kenya, Malawi, Rwanda, Sudan, Uganda, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. But our service is open for the rest of the COMESA and Africa countries in general. We are here for Africa laser development. Our vision is to be Africa's premium laser sector center of excellence in the global arena. And our mission is to facilitate member states, not only member state Africa, and connect partners, enterprises, institutions for value addition and competitiveness in the laser sector through sharing of knowledge, adoption, and adoption of innovations at various value chain levels. This is our vision and mission. Let me give you our major activity, but not limited to this. The first one is capacity building training and consultancy along the laser value chain starts from hires and skins up to marketing. Laser value chain strategy formulation, we have formulated and designed for all our member states, including potential member states. Development of market platforms like e-commerce, Africa Laser Business Directory, consultative forum, and trade fairs. Curriculum development and harmonization, and also exposure of our laser players to international scholars and proprietors. We recently undertake the World Laser Congress and International Union for Laser Technologists and Chemists Society Congress in 2021. This was a good platform for our Africa as an African laser sector development. The other activity is project development and implementation with development partners. And also we do have regional design studios project, which is establishment of under member state, under our member state. We do have satellite design studios. And also in general, we support Africa from commodity dependence to product development. Because now, as you're going to see in my presentation, we are commodity dependent, we are not value adding, so we are supporting Africa Laser to add value and to be a product development platform. So ALPI works in the triple helix framework mechanism, which is academia, government, private sector, or industry. We should encompass all these platforms to get our laser sector development in general and very soon. So we do have also ALPI vocal ministries in each member state, which is from government, and we do have academias, different institutions which works for laser sector, human resource development, and private sector, which of course is industry. Academia is for knowledge source through research findings along laser fire value chain, and government is there for development of sharing the knowledge for adoption along the laser value chain, and generate researchable problems along the laser value chain. This is our triple helix framework mechanism for supporting our laser sector. When we come to global merchandise trade, I wanted to start from that and to see where is our continent, Africa. The overall, the value of global trade reached a record level of 28.5 trillion in 2021. That is an increase of 20% on 2022 and 30% of higher compared to 2019. In 2021, the global trade value of goods exported through the world amounted to approximately 22.3 trillion US dollars at current prices. Africa, our Africa continent, plays only a marginal role in world trade. Its share of global export is only 2.6%. When we come, as you have seen from the previous presentation, we have only a share of Africa, 2.6% from the whole global share. When we see a global intra-trade level also, Africa is in a lower performance when you compare to Europe, 70%, Asia 59%, Latin America 31%, and we Africans only at a lower level of development. The African countries as an economic bloc occupies a very low position in the global economic classification, as you have seen from my previous presentation. But Africa is a continent is a home to 40% of the global population. It accounts for less than 3% of the global GDP and receives only 3% of foreign direct investment. As you have seen also, intra-African trade is very low. Given the unsatisfactory performance of Africa in promoting intra-regional trade to date, we have to question, is there a potential for intra-Africa trade after all? And what are the major constraints to intra-Africa trade are timely and important? How can we enhance the performance of intra-Africa trade based on the competitive and comparative advantage of the country? Industry should be our homework for us. Let us see the major challenges of the inter and intra-trade for Africa. The nature of African economies and lack of progress, readiness to activate regional integration is one of the main problems. And also absence or poor state of trade-related infrastructure, like trade logistics included, is very poor. And macro policy-related problems, such as lack of macroeconomic coordination among African countries, including the multiplicity and inconvertibility of currencies, is also one of our problems. And also other supply-side problems like trade export promotion, inefficient custom administration, international payment system mechanism, and related trade facilities are the challenges. And also we don't have a study to perform inter-trade practices based on competitive advantage. We have different comparative and competitive advantage for Africa, but we didn't utilize that one by putting which country is more competitive in what product in which laser value chain. So why we talk about laser? We talk laser, but why? The laser sector has the longest value chain and is fully integrated into millions of enterprises and family households, as you know. And the laser industry utilizes the byproduct of slaughterhouse and transforms the raw material into various types of laser and manufactured end products. It has a long value chain, as you know. The global laser value chain starts with animal husbandry and ends with the manufacture of laser goods and laser products, animal husbandry, production of hairs and skins, semi-processing of hairs and skins, finished laser, and the manufacturing of laser products. These are the value chains of laser. These processing stages are linked to key commercial components of the chain, such as the marketing of intermediate inputs, components, and end products, trade and consumption. The various inputs to the chain without which the chain cannot operate competitively are qualified laser, as you know, qualified labor, design and art centers, components, production, access to chemicals, technical and administrative support institutions, research and development, training, and a set of adequate policies. These are the importance along the laser value chain. when we come to the statistics, the laser industry is one of the fast-growing commercial segments in the world. The global laser goods and footwear market is valued at USD 407 billion in 2021, and it's growing, expected to grow. The market is mainly driven by rising consumer disposable income, improved living standards, changing fashion trends, and growing domestic and international markets. When we say laser is important, the laser sector is important, we can compare with those commodities like meat. Even if it is the byproduct of meat, it has, you see, laser value chain is very low. And also when you compare to sugar, coffee, rice, rubber, it is the important commodity. And along the laser value chain, we can focus only on the footwear segment, because the footwear segment has an important and high share. When we come to Africa laser sector, we do have an opportunity. As you know, Africa ranks second in terms of per capita livestock population, which is the foundation for developing the laser sector. So we do have competitive and comparative advantage if we develop laser sector. The continent contributes about 25% of the livestock production and 60% of the global share of raw hides and skins supply, but only contribute 4% of the world laser production and 3.3% of value addition in laser. And also the laser industry contribution to manufacturing output in the region is less than 1%. So as I have said, we do have 25% livestock population and only contributes 16.2 for hides and skins, and trade raw hides and skins, you see the value addition is decreasing. We only contribute 0.75% footwear production and export worldwide. So we can easily see our foregone opportunities if we only produce hides and skins and export this in the first stage of production, like raw hides, wet blue. If we export finished products like a shoe and leather garment, we can get a higher value addition, we can get a higher price. It's 12 times when compared to exporting raw hides and skins. So our potential is this one. We do have many million cattle, exotic cattle, million goats, and sheep and camels. We do have a lot of resources, but which is untapped potential for development. So this sector not only does have an excellent and renewable resource base, but it is also labor intensive. When you value add, especially in leather product sector, it's labor intensive with the potential to be a major source of employment all along its supply and chain. When we compare with our population, the current population of Africa is estimated 1.4 billion, considering 0.5 pairs of shoes per capita annum requirement of a given population. A need will be 1.1. Present production is estimated 154 million pairs for the region. So we have a deficit of 973 million pairs deficit we do have. So this is, we are importing to fill our deficit. But if we assume all these pairs of shoes are produced in the region, approximately more than 1.6 million shop level jobs would be created, which would trigger demand in the finished leather, soles, groove, and other accessories, consequently creating more indirect jobs if we work along this value chain. So these are our potential if we do, and if we work along value addition, if we add, we can get and we can cover our demand within Africa without importing. Let me also cover why the challenges of Africa laser faces in internationalization process. So far, we are not good at exporting our products. One of our, these are the problems we have as Africa. Poor trade logistics and transport, the long lead time in imports, because we are the net importer of chemical and other inputs. Challenges in finding customers overseas and limited international market experience. This is one of our challenges. That's why we are participating in this kind of platform in the trade fair ground. Lack of design, information, product development knowledge, information, and educated personnel for applying up-to-date quality assurance techniques and productive technologies. One of our problems. The institutional background is weak in providing necessary service, support, and professional training. And also we do have low level of productivity, dependence of export on primary products, as we have said, low level of financial service facility for the private sector, input-output linkage information is very low, investment promotion activities are at low stage in terms of technology transfer and adoption. And also we do have a problem of second-hand leather goods and footwear. We are dependent on this. And also, we do have a low level of investment, as I have said before. There is unnecessary bureaucracy, lack of transparency, inefficiency and corruption, regulations or policies at national and regional level, and lack of coordination and cooperation of relevant institutions. And we do have a big opportunity in front of us to utilize our laser sector, to utilize and to develop. So we do have a big platform in front of us. Africa Continental Free Trade Area is also in front of us. So we have to prepare for that, and we have to maximize our opportunities with this regard. So you know this one, this is one of our opportunity. And also we have different opportunities for our competition, duty-free, quota-free market access. You know, European market also gave an opportunity for, and also we do have AGOA also. So these are our major opportunities for our trading platform. As I have said, we do have a lot of problems to enhance our investment. So we should cut our bureaucracy, we should simplify our personal entry, we should ease investment permits, we should also have institutions cooperation and coordination. So my recommendation in general will be, we have to strengthen our triple helix platform. We have to incorporate our academia to develop our laser sector, private sector, the government should be in the same platform to develop laser sector. Otherwise, we will not get what we are intended for. Identifying the competitive and comparative advantages of African country to maximize Africa Continental Free Trade Area. We have to know level of development regarding the laser sector is different, so we have to see in which products have competitive and comparative advantage. We have to identify that one, and we have to integrate for development. Commitment of the government to support laser sector along the laser value chain is very essential. We have to commit to support our SMEs, small and medium enterprises, so that they can compete in different parts of laser value chain. Integration is a must, not a choice for us, for competitiveness domestically and globally. Thank you very much for your attention. For any question, I am here with panelists. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Birkenesh. Good morning. I'm the first one to have a question here. Thanks for your wonderful presentation. If I consider the better quantity or the better share of the leather production, the livestock in Africa, in terms of compared to the world livestock quantity, but only the low share of the world leather products, etc. You mentioned the reason why that is the case, but if I also consider the manpower, the rate, or the what do you call it, the labor cost that is very low in Africa, even lower than Asia, what is the reason that Africa is having only a little share, I think 2.4 or there was 3.3% of the world market, while the livestock is more than 25% of the world market? And that would be one question. And the second question is how or what solutions does ALPI has and government have in Africa to get rid of this problem, because it does not fit what we have in Africa, in livestock, etc., and the low manpowership, but the share of the finished leather products that we have in the world.
Thank you very much, Skander, for this question. As you have said, our share, especially for export of laser product, is very low. We are only exporters our resource, hairs and skins, in first stage. Like we only export our capital, but import laser products by paying 12-fold. This is the problem of Africa. That's why ALPI is doing and supporting Africa laser sector to value add and export and compete not only continentally but globally. We are different activities to support laser sector to produce good quality laser products. To keep, for example, we can say standards training is there so that our SMEs can produce the standard product continentally and globally, and also to have a certification so that they can compete not only in the continent but globally. And also we support member states to have a strategy so that they can focus to develop the laser sector, not only exporting those hairs and skins, pickle and wet blue, but also to export value-added products like finished laser and also bags, shoes, and so on. That's why we are focusing, because so far as an Africa, we are commodity dependent. We are only producing hairs and skins, pickle and wet blue, but we are not value adding. That's why we say we are supporting for product development. We want to change them from commodity dependent to product development. They should produce the last product, laser product, bags, shoes, belts, and everything, so that they use their own resources. Like you said, we have 25% livestock population and only contributes 3.3% for value addition. This should need not only the commitment of private sector, but also needs the commitment of the government and also the private sector. They should be committed. That's why we have a platform called Triple Helix. We will involve academia, government, and private sector at the same platform so that they can support the laser sector to transform very fast. Because in front of us, we have Africa Continental Free Trade Area. If we are not ready, some countries can penetrate very easily. So we should be ready. The government should be committed to take this assignment also. Thank you.
May I add one note? If I compare the garment sector in the world industry, they have one issue, that is sourcing the fabrics, for instance. So they need foreign currency to source fabrics and produce garment and export. But still, when it comes to pricing and selling and exporting the finished garment, whether it's jacket, and so on, and trousers and so on and so forth, they have today become quite competitive in the world. The issue I see in the leather sector, in the finished product, and I'm not a professional, but I know people who work for those high-level leather brands, whether it's Gucci and Prada and so, and they work in those buying departments. What they told me is, Africans, they produce beautiful bags, but one thing is missing, that is the finishing. Secondly, the price is way too high when they sell their bags and their shoes and so on and so forth. So if I would give you an example, if my wife would have $5,000, and I know bags made by Africans for $5,000 or $3,000, and they look beautiful. For this bag, for this amount, you can buy a bag from Gucci and some others. So my wife, to be honest, she would prefer maybe to buy a Gucci bag or Prada bag for this if she can get it for the same amount. So I think we have to make sure that the factories can produce cost effective. I think that is where Alpi can maybe support, the government can maybe support in getting those machines, maybe getting the people from outside to train the factories, how they can produce cost effective, how can they deliver faster, how can they have a cost effective logistic. And I think if we can ensure that, I'm sure we are able to sell more, to export more, and to have a bigger share of this world market.
Thank you very much for the compliment.
Any other question?
Thank you for your presentation, and my name is Douglas. There's something that caught my attention in your recommendation, and perhaps after working for so many years, you may shed some light onto that. Government commitment to supporting the leather sector. Much can be said, but actually it boils down to how much the government is putting effort, because you said the value chain is very long, meaning that it has a high potential for employing so many people and creating many jobs. But without the commitment in so many areas, which I don't want to mention, perhaps you may highlight in these COMESA countries, how have you seen government responding to supporting the leather sector so that it can grow?
Thank you very much. I have seen most of the countries, they have laser development strategy. Even they put by saying laser is our priority area to develop. Their priority area to develop for export, or for GDP development, and everything they say on the top. But when you come to the implementation level, even our SMEs cannot get enough information and also enough support in the different platforms. We take for the participation on the trade fair. The government said they are prioritizing laser sector, but they are not sponsoring even 5 or 10 laser SMEs on this platform. That's one of the examples, you see. So this trade fair participation is very expensive. We know the SMEs cannot afford. We should support them, at least by cost-sharing basis. So only saying prioritizing laser sector, prioritize laser sector is not, sometimes cannot bring results. So let us, if we prioritize laser sector, if we say something like that, we have to prioritize. We have to think day and night, as per my thinking. Thank you.
Any other question? All right.
Let's give Ms. Birkinesh another round of applause, please. So we'll take another with a 5-minute break. Then we'll have a panel discussion. The topic is leveraging government support and exploring new markets to promote growth and competitiveness in the East African leather sector. This session will be moderated by Ms. Beatrice Mwasi, from Leather Apex Society of Kenya, and the panelists are Ms. Birkinesh Yado from Alpi. You've seen her presentation. They will be joined by Mr. Charles from the Kenya Leather Development Council and Ms. Paulina Ogola. So let's take a 5 minutes